In the near term, without massive reinvestment in manufacturing overseas, and a lot of that's going to be Chinese companies going global. That's the unintended consequence of slapping tariffs on without a policy that guides investment. Because what will happen is the Chinese companies who dominate that supply chain will start building their factories all around the world in order to avoid the country of origin tariff.
Right, we're already starting to see that as well, you know, the China Plus One strategy. But what do you think those other markets where they can sell these products, end markets, like Southeast Asia, like South America, like Africa, like the Middle East, can make up for whatever potential loss that they could have had in the United States?
Yeah, it's sleeves out of your vest. It's volume we didn't have. You haven't sold into the U.S. So you prioritize other markets. You prioritize Southeast Asia, Global South, Africa, Middle East. And by the way, in Europe also, because Europe may have put tariffs out there as bargaining chip, but Europe isn't trying to block China. In fact, there are many European dealer groups here this week shopping for Chinese partners to source electric vehicles from.
What do you think of the rumors or the beginning of the minimum price mechanism to replace perhaps those tariffs that the EU put on them in the first place?
I don't think that, first of all, it doesn't hurt the Chinese company. It actually gives them better pricing. They get better margin. So they don't mind. It raised the floor for us. That means we don't have to fight at the bottom of the pyramid. That means we get better margin. It doesn't do anything. It may give the overseas companies less of a price gap to have to compete with. That's, I think, the logic of it. But the problem with that is it's actually rewarding the company you're trying to slow down with better margins. I don't see how it helps companies get competitive on the things they're lacking, which is the ability to source competitively priced technology.
So on the parts front, I guess you're saying that it's been extremely counterproductive for the American manufacturers because they're not going to be able to source here. You are very close to the U.S. manufacturers. You were the former Chrysler China head, right?
Right.
GM is almost silent here.
Yeah.
Ford is pretty silent. Tesla's not even here again. So what does that say about their prospects in the world's biggest market here?
Well, a lot of the content of what they build, whether it's built in the United States or any other country, a lot of the component technology comes from China. Yeah. China's been inside cars for much longer than American consumers care to realize. They're going to find out just how much cost penalty is going to come as these tariffs roll in. Will that ultimately cause companies to go and consider their supply chains elsewhere? Yeah, sure it will. But that's going to take a long time. It's going to require investment.
What's a long time?
It's going to take years. You don't replicate a multi-tiered supply chain. It's not just moving one part. It's moving all the parts that go into a sub-assembly into a system that then has to go along with that. So it's not building one factory. It's building a whole network of supply chain in other markets. It will happen. There will be regionalization. But a lot of that will have to be Chinese companies investing overseas, which makes them go global even faster. So I don't know if the intended consequence was to accelerate the globalization of Chinese supply chains, but that's what's going to happen.